Kickstart Kenny responds to Jett Lawrence's comment that Americans are haters. Hey everybody, Walty Wanderers, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So Kickstart Kenny, welcome to the swimming pool. I guess from what I've gathered, I saw an article posted, which we're going to take a look at here in a second because I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. But it basically was Kickstart Kenny responding to Jett Lawrence when during the presser he said that Americans were basically, for all intents and purposes, haters. It's America's fault. Listen, friends, I mean, I got a lot of thoughts around this one, but it was kind of curious because I don't know if you guys have seen actual video coverage or video footage of this Kenny response. What I saw was an article, and I read through it, and I was kind of a little bit, I don't know, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this because I have so many thoughts, and I'm trying to remain as politically correct as possible, as polite as possible, and, not really make anything out of something that doesn't need to be made something out of. But I really believe this is something that's worth covering because I think there's basically, it's all wrong. I believe it's, it's not all wrong, but it's definitely not all right. But Kenny Roczen responded, apparently felt the need to go ahead and put his hat in the ring in terms of what's going on being a foreigner in America in response to Jett Lawrence's. Let's go ahead and jump over, take a read through this article, then we'll meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. Ken Roczen responds to Jett Lawrence trash talk on Americans. As a foreigner, America is not quite easy. Well, let's keep reading. In the world of professional motocross, trash talk is part of the game. Competitors banter back and forth trying to get in each other's heads, make headlines, and stir the pot. However, every now and then, words can take on a deeper meaning, revealing not only personal rivalry, but also cultural and societal issues that might go unnoticed in the heat of competition. Ken Roczen, one of the most prominent figures in motocross, responded to Jett Lawrence's trash talk about Americans. While Lawrence's comments may have been meant as playful jabs, Roczen's response shed light on the struggles that many foreigners face when living and competing in America. His words pointed to an issue that's often overlooked: racism. It all started with Jett Lawrence, a rising star in the motocross world, making a few remarks about Americans, which some took as playful trash talk. Lawrence, who hails from Australia, had been in the spotlight for his growing success and playful attitude, but his comments about Americans seemed to cross the line. He joked about how the American crowd could sometimes be a bit too patriotic, calling out the nationalistic fervor that surrounds sports in the United States. While the remarks were lighthearted for Lawrence, they quickly garnished attention, especially from some of the international peers, including Ken Roczen. Roczen, a German-born motocross rider, has lived and raced in the United States for many years. As a veteran of the sport and a seasoned competitor, Roczen was quick to respond. But his reply was not in the same playful tone. Let's hear from old Kenny boy. Ken Roczen's response was both measured and powerful. Instead of engaging in more trash talk, he chose to highlight the challenges that foreigners like him face when they move to America. Roczen shared his experiences of being a foreigner in America, explaining that life for someone who is not born and raised in the country can be difficult in many ways. As a foreigner in America, it's not quite easy. We face racism on a daily basis, Roczen said. His statement wasn't just a personal reflection, but a reminder that there's a deeper issue at play. I'm not so sure about that, but let's keep reading. Roczen's comments were not intended to start an international feud or to pit Americans against foreigners. Instead, his message was one of empathy. Roczen's comments were not intended to start an international feud or to pit Americans against foreigners. Instead, his message was one of empathy, urging people to recognize the struggles that many immigrants face, particularly in a country that's known for its diversity, but also marred by systemic issues like racism. Roczen's candid admission that racism is part of the daily life of many foreigners is something that many people might not understand unless they've experienced it firsthand. For Roczen, the idea of being a foreigner in America has always been part of his identity, but it comes with its challenges. It's important to note that while America is often seen as the land of opportunity for many immigrants, the reality is far from ideal. Prejudices and stereotypes can sometimes make life difficult, especially for those who are trying to prove themselves in an arena as competitive as motocross. Roczen didn't just talk about the challenges of being a foreigner, but he also brought attention to the broader societal issues that affect all individuals who are not seen as native. Racism, in its many forms, is a problem that many people from different cultures and backgrounds encounter, from microaggressions to the more overt forms of discrimination. Racism in America can be a barrier that stifles progress and hurts the sense of community. One of the most significant aspects of Roczen's response was his focus on the role that racism plays in the world of sports. It's an industry where athletes, regardless of their nationality, are often treated based on their abilities and results. However, the underlying bias that exists can often rear their ugly heads, making it difficult for some competitors to feel fully accepted. As a foreigner who has achieved great success in the American motocross scene, Roczen has no doubt encountered instances of racism throughout his career. While he may not always vocalize these experiences, his words suggest that the struggles of being an outsider in a sport that's deeply ingrained in American culture are far from over. Racism in sports isn't always obvious, but it can manifest in subtle ways. From the media's portrayal of foreign athletes to the way fans treat competitors from different countries, it's important to acknowledge that not all riders receive the same level of respect and recognition. Roczen's statement was a reminder that success in sports is often intertwined with how athletes are perceived in society as a whole. In many ways, Roczen's response to Lawrence's trash talk highlights the cultural divide that exists between foreign athletes and their American counterparts. While trash talk may seem like harmless banter, it can sometimes reveal deeper cultural misunderstandings. What may seem like a harmless joke to an Australian like Lawrence can be interpreted very differently by someone from another country. Roczen's experiences as a foreigner in America have likely shaped his perspective on these issues. Coming from Germany, a country with its own complex history and relationship to race, Roczen may be more attuned to the nuisances of racism and cultural clashes. In his response, he expressed a desire for greater understanding and sensitivity, not only in the world of sports, but in society as a whole. Well, it sounds like our boy Kickstart Kenny's getting a little political now. At its core, Roczen's response was a call for empathy. He wasn't attacking Lawrence or criticizing his comments, but rather using the moment to educate others about the difficulties that come with being an immigrant in a foreign land. Roczen emphasized the need for respect and understanding, especially when it comes to dealing with sensitive topics like racism. Instead of simply dismissing Lawrence's words, Roczen chose to engage in the conversation about how words can impact people in different ways. This approach is a testament to his maturity and his desire to make the world of motocross and sports in general a more inclusive and welcoming place for everyone, regardless of their background. Roczen's comments also shed light on the power of representation in sports. As a foreigner who has made a name for himself in the United States, Roczen represents a different kind of success story. He is proof that athletes from all over the world can come to America, overcome obstacles, and achieve greatness. This success is not without its challenges, and Roczen's openness about the struggles he faces highlights the importance of representation for others who may be in similar positions. By sharing his experiences, Roczen is offering a platform for other foreign athletes to feel seen and heard. His response encourages people to think about the complexities of identity in sports and the importance of fostering an environment that supports all athletes, regardless of where they come from. Roczen's response also points to the need for greater awareness of the issues that foreign athletes face. Too often, people focus on the success stories without acknowledging the struggles that accompany them. It's easy to celebrate an athlete's achievements without considering the social and cultural barriers they may have had to overcome. In the case of Roczen, his ability to perform at the highest level in motocross despite the challenges of being a foreigner in America speaks to his resilience. However, his willingness to discuss these issues also serve as a call to action for those who might not fully understand what it's like to navigate a life in a country where it's not your own. Despite the tensions that sometimes arise between foreign and American athletes, motocross has the potential to be an underlying force. It's a sport that at its best transcends national borders and brings together people from all walks of life. However, this unity can only be achieved if there's mutual respect and understanding between competitors. Roczen's comments remind us that while sports can be a source of pride and passion, they should also be a space where diversity is celebrated and the differences are respected. The focus should always be on the skill and determination of the athletes, not on their national origin. In the aftermath of the trash talk and Roczen's response, there's an opportunity for growth and understanding. Both Roczen and Lawrence have the chance to use this moment to promote unity and positivity in the sport by acknowledging the challenges that foreign athletes face, both on and off the track. They can help build a more inclusive environment for all competitors. Moving forward, it's important for everyone involved in motocross, athletes, fans, and organizations to reflect on the broader implications of their words and actions. Racism has no place in sports, and it's up to all of us to create an atmosphere that welcomes athletes of all backgrounds. Ken Roczen's response to Jett Lawrence's trash talk serves as an important reminder of all the complexities that come with being a foreign athlete in America. It's a call to reflect on all the experiences of others and to approach these issues like racism with empathy and understanding. Roczen's message is clear. Sports should be a place for unity, with athletes who are judged on their skills and character and not their nationality. In this light, Roczen's words can serve as a turning point in the conversation about diversity and inclusion in motocross and beyond. As the sport continues to grow, it's crucial that we take the time to understand the challenges that athletes like Roczen face. Only through greater awareness and empathy can we create a more respectful and inclusive environment for everyone. And there it is there. What do you guys think? Make sure you drop it in the comments below. For now, let's head back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. And there you go. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Here's what I'm seeing, first of all, friends. The reality is this. America is where all the foreigners want to come. And we've had foreigners in our sport since the conception of the sport. In fact, we have probably more foreigners in the sport than we've probably ever had. And if not, it's always been a substantial amount. And I don't know if it's just me, but when I see Jett Lawrence and or Kickstart Kenny start to almost, I wouldn't say gripe about it, but not hold it in the best light. They're a little bit bummed that they haven't been just embraced and coddled like, I don't know, maybe they see fit. The reality is this. There's a price to pay if you want to come over to American soil as a foreigner and dominate our guys and our sport. It's going to come with some criticism. Now, I don't believe there's much hate. And yes, I mean, ask James Stewart. If you want to blame this on racism in the sport, it's not against foreigners. Like, we don't care about that. We love having the foreign invasion here. It makes for better racing, better coverage, better news, better topics, better everything. We love it. And occasionally one of you foreigners rise up and win championships and dominate. We're okay with that too. It's part of the deal. But when somebody's made millions and millions of dollars and they gripe about it, now it's one thing to say, for me personally, I would be more of the position, let's say I'm Jett Lawrence, the Wonder Boy, the chosen one, the Moto Messiah. I'd be like, listen, I love being in America. It's where I always wanted to be. I understand how possibly I rubbed some people the wrong way, or I got gobbled up by the moto machine, and I've been basically, these spin doctors have made me into something I'm not. And I understand how the critics might be a little more critical because of that. Now, we've had other Chad Reeds that have come along, and many others, you know, the Cobra, Villeman, John Michelle Bell. I mean, it goes back, you know, it goes back throughout history. And those guys didn't get, I don't know, they were accepted. And listen, we've always got to have it. It's like if I was to show up as a racer to Germany or Australia and start dominating over there, and then, you know, grabbing your local guys by the helmet and shaking them, or, you know, just whatever, start to complain about the way I'm being treated. Do you think that's going to actually have your country embrace me further, or is it going to ostracize me even further? And final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy that wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now, they're shark infested. Kickstart Kenny, welcome to the swimming pool. Everybody that's not from America, welcome to the swimming pool. This is where you wanted to be. This is what you signed up for. Listen, it is what it is. You guys are making millions and millions of dollars. Even the American Supercross itself has embraced you further than some of our own riders. So to complain about it at any level, I believe, is a little off topic. And that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, gonna love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless. I'll see you on the next video.